And the new PR mantra for the Obama administration, greatly improved. Does that have a nice ring to it? Henry Chow, one of the top tech officials in charge of repairs, will testify tomorrow on Capitol Hill that healthcare.gov will be greatly improved for the vast majority of users by November 30th. Notice Chow says improved. He doesn't say fixed. Republican Congressman Tom Price joins us.
Hey, Greta.
Well, greatly improved is better than just a little better, I guess.
Well, it is, but as the president himself said, this isn't all about the website. This is about a program from our standpoint that the American people are going to suffer under from a health care standpoint. As a physician, I think that their goal is 80% of this website will work and get folks through. In the operating room, if I did something 80% correct, that was malpractice. So healthcare is different than other sorts of things. And in this instance, when people aren't able to access the kind of coverage that they want, when they aren't able to see the doctors that they want to see, when they're not able to be treated in the manner that they want to be treated, that's just wrrong, and we're not going to stand for it.
Why do you think that they told? Why is this testimony tomorrow that it's greatly improved? Is that? I mean, maybe that's his opinion. Maybe he truly feel, I mean, so many people feel burned by it that I'm not so sure that that's, even if I felt it's greatly improved, I'm not so sure that's the approach I'd take.
Well, it's a subjective metric, obviously. I mean, it's just, you know, things are getting a little better. But it's not just the website. And that's what we've got to keep concentrating on. These are real people being harmed. You've read the stories. I get the contacts in mail and email every single day from citizens from my district who are unable to get the coverage that they want. They're losing the doctors that they have. And that's not just happening in the 6th District of Georgia. That's happening all across the country. And people are fed up with a program that they didn't appreciate was as far-reaching and oppressive as this program is.
You know what I think is even more, I mean, which I think is appalling, is that, you know, there are a lot of people who really hate it. I mean, some people, I assume, will like it. I mean, we'll have to see how this happens. But what I find most distressing is, like tonight, Byron York was just reporting that unions may get a special deal for a year. And I'm thinking, like, why do they get it and the rest of the Americans don't? And I think Americans think that if we're at least going to try this plan, it ought to apply fairly. Yes. And people should start because they happen to be a strong political bloc for political reasons. You know, what's the fairness of that?
Well, there isn't any. And the president and his administration are known for picking winners and losers, and that's just wrong. That's what much of the battle in October was all about. All we wanted was the American people to be treated as fairly as everybody else. And sadly, at the end of the day, they haven't accepted that yet. I hope that they will. I guess, rely on Democratic senators to wake up and represent their constituents.
What do you expect our discussion will be in March?
I think you're going to see more concern about the premium price, the cost of the coverage itself, because once people get that bill and not just the announcement, then that's going to be big. I think you're going to see more and more individuals not being able to access the plans that they want. And something that we haven't even seen roll out yet are all the data breaches, all the identity theft, the folks who've been scammed, the seniors who've been scammed by folks who are standing up saying that this is the Medicare program that you need. And it's just rife with huge problems. And again, this is about health care. This isn't about something that doesn't concern people. This is very personal stuff.
I mean, there's a big difference between health insurance and access to medical care. And I think that, you know, at least I want to make sure everyone has access to medical care. I don't want. I'm curious, as a doctor, what you think would have been a better way to do this so that people actually, you know, people who didn't have access did get access.
There's so many better solutions out there, Greta, and you and I have talked about them before. H.R. 2300 is a bill that we've put forward now in 3 straight Congresses. Gets everybody covered in this country with insurance that they want, not that the government forces them to buy. Solves the insurance.
What if you don't want? What if you're like? What if you're just not responsible enough? You don't go, or you can't afford insurance.
What we would do is provide a financial incentive so it makes more financial sense to be covered than not be covered.
Some people don't even have jobs. I guess they're Medicaid eligible, but you know, what about those
folks
people?
That aren't Medicaid eligible but above the Medicaid level? We provide a refundable advanceable credit, which is basically a chip to be able to purchase health coverage. Again, health coverage that they want, not that the government forces them to buy. And then we can solve the insurance challenges of portability and pre-existing. You ought not lose your insurance if you change your job or you lose your job, and you ought not be priced out of the market if you have a bad diagnosis. But you don't need to put Washington in charge to solve these things.
I think the insurance company got a great deal in all this. I mean, they've got a guaranteed payment on this reinsurance fund. I mean, it's like, you know, it's hard for me to understand where the risk is for the insurance companies.
All sorts of people getting a great deal in this, but I'll tell you who's not getting a great deal. That's the physicians of this land and the patients of this land, and that's wrong.
Congressman, always nice to see you, sir.
Thanks, Greta.
Straight